Frankel. So Bethenny Frankel, another Real Housewives of New York City alum, is now come under fire because apparently some people felt like they wanted to drag her over her recent comments about Bad Bunny. So why is she always looking like she coming out of something, the shower, or she need a sandwich or something? But anyway, so apparently she's lashing out at anyone who was trying to tear her down because of a viral video that she posted and then deleted. So now in the now removed clip, the Real Housewives clip. Now I started thinking of Dorinda. The Real Housewives of New York City alum, who's 55, opened with a warning that she might get canceled with this before launching into a broader question about whether major entertainment platforms should be used to express personal or political views. She said, should these entertainment vehicles, the Grammys, the Emmys, the Oscars, the Super Bowl, should this be a place for personal, cultural, political views to be expressed? She acknowledged there are moments when discussion of world events is unavoidable, citing COVID tragedies and 9/11. Well, quiet as it's kept, y'all don't even want us to talk about 9/11. And when one artist did Madonna during the American Life era, oh, y'all tried to blacklist her and destroy her career. So um where she even had to like remove the American Life video and it was a bunch of flags and shit in the background. Now the video is out and people don't feel a sense of craziness regarding it. But at the time, it was very controversial when that video came out. But yeah, when she came out and started speaking about like questioning what was going on with 9/11, oh, y'all were trying to crucify her. And then decades later, you realize she and so many others were right. Sent us into a war that wasn't even with the right people. Anyway, so Frankel went on to compare Bad Bunny's performance to past controversies involving comedians and actors, including Dave Chappelle expressing transphobic views on stage in 2001, and Billie Eilish recently blasting ICE during her 2026 acceptance speech. She said, "Where's the wait? How do you compare what Bad Bunny did to?" I'm confused. So she used I need to see this video, but apparently she removed it. Maybe it might be on Twitter or something, and I didn't even feel the need to even look it up. Because when people remove stuff, it do end up in other places. But I didn't even bother to check. And I don't feel like looking for it. But just me thinking about it right now, I'm like, wait, what some people take offense to the fact that you have this cisgender male always using a trans community. Now, don't get me wrong, I love an offensive joke if it's set up in a way where it's meant to be funny, not in a way of like more of a Tony Hinchcliffe type of way where it's like, oh look, we said a derogatory word, ha ha ha. And then it was like, okay, so you said the derogatory word, but where's the joke? Where's the setup? Where's the point of you using whatever slur or whatever the case is that you wanted to use? You're doing it for shock value. You're not doing it as a way of like making a point or having more of a sense of, okay, let's laugh. I'm not looking for a moment for shock value sake. So I'm kind of confused of why she would even bring that up in the same thing of what Bad Bunny did. With Bad Bunny's political stance, as y'all want to call it, because it is kind of in a way a political stance, that was him sharing light on the fact that these lies that this regime is putting on Hispanics, calling them animals and all these other things, and some of the wording that the new border czar or the border czar has put on because he took over that previous job that was by damn, I forgot his the guy that stepped down. But now that he's doing two jobs, you're not good at either one. Some of the wording and the phrasing that he's used is rooted in bigotry and ignorance. So someone shining a positive light on their community, I don't know how that's a line that needs to be drawn. So anyway, she waited and said, "Where's the line?" Arguing the daytime television hosts like Live with Kelly and Mark, stars Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, are not allowed to express their opinions about anything going on. And yeah, with them being on daytime, that's why the daytime has been painted with this brush of they're boring. And a lot of their shows are being canceled. And with the shows being canceled, um, that's why now I'm hearing that they're going to be putting a lot of those slots instead of them looking to put new talk shows on because they're too expensive, according to them. They're going to fill it up with more news hours. So be prepared to see a lot more hour. Well, it's not on ABC, but any of those regular news shows, NBC News or whatever the case is, they're going to fill up more hours of that. And I'm like, to what? Repeating the same damn stories that y'all be repeating? So what's the point of y'all putting the news stuff in there? And quiet as it's kept, people are getting their news more from the internet than anything. So it just seems like to me the networks are trying to compete with the CNNs and the MSNBCs, even though I don't particularly care for the type of news they spew on there anyway because it's propaganda. But the real news that people are going on social media and getting in from the Kyle Kalinskis and the Sabby Sabs and the Don Lemons and the Joy Reeds and the Hassan Pikers, like those are who they're getting their news from. Not trying to tune in to watch surface level shit on network television. But anyway, let's get back into the story because it just reminded me of something else based off of what she said. She said that show, they can barely discuss anything going on. It's an entertainment vehicle and they keep it that way. Well, how are you comparing with Bad Bunny, who's an artist, to a Kelly Ripa and a Mark Consuelos? They're a talk show host. So how they do their show is how they do their show. They talk about the boring banter that they talk about going on in their house with their kids and their marriage or whatever, or their little adventures, and then they bring out some boring celebrity for 5 minutes. They talk about their little movie, and then they keep it moving. But these days, the whole celebrity interview thing is nobody's really watching that anymore because now we have social media. People can go on their Instagram, whatever the case is, and become more personable with their fans. They don't need to go on to Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelo. So I don't understand the comparison of talk show hosts to someone like Bad Bunny, who's an artist and is using his platform to speak out on something that he finds important and uplifting his people. He's not the first one to do that. KRS-One in hip hop, because apparently, Helmet Head from Kiss got a problem with hip hop being a part of the Hollywood, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, and who cares about what his old boomer ass got? Things his old ass out of touch behind. So, um, I just don't understand like the comparison. It's just confusing. But there was a clapback that she said that I'm gonna agree with because shortly after posting the video, she removed it and followed up with a second Instagram reel in which she offered a far more supportive take on Bad Bunny's halftime performance because she got her ass dragged. So she went and deleted the video and then posted something else. Feel like if that's how you felt at the time, leave it up. But do the part, put a part two or whatever the case is, and say that maybe you come to a different conclusion. It just feels like to me you backpedaling. And now you want to come up with a different perspective because you say I'm because when you start your whole situation off with I might get canceled for this, you're setting yourself up for the dragation. So she went on and said, so my take on Bad Bunny and his performance at the Super Bowl is that he is an artist expressing himself, his music, and his experience as a Puerto Rican man in America. Well, you could have said that shit from the beginning. She added that musicians across genres use their work to reflect culture and identity. That's why I said, like, how are you not aware of this? Like, you're not even aware of music history. He's not the first person to do this. Bad Bunny is a Puerto Rican man in America on the largest stage in the world, which is very inspirational to people because that is him expressing his experience in his first language. Frankel concluded by invoking pop royalty. Madonna said it best, express yourself. She also said art is here to disturb the peace. So she also said that or artists are here to disturb the peace. Now, some fans speculated the quick deletion may have been influenced by intense backlash, which is what I said, faced by the former Roni co-star Jill Zarin, who was widely criticized over her own now deleted rant about Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance. On Sunday, the 62-year-old reality star shared a video blasting the halftime show, calling it the worst halftime show ever and claiming it was inappropriate for children watching at home. Oh, children being educated on something that they can't that's different from what they were accustomed to. We don't need to go into what Zarin said because she's annoying, and a lot of what she said was just rooted in straight up bigotry and racism. Um, But then on Reddit, one user speculated Frankel may have taken down her post after seeing the reaction of Jill's. Did they put it up around the same time? Or was this after she heard that Jill got the backlash? I just need to know the timeline of when she posted her video up. Now, others rushed to defend Frankel, arguing her commentary was fundamentally different than Zarin's, which I will agree with. They said, why y'all acting so pitchforky and hysterical to any opinion? Like, calm the fuck down. The intolerance is out of control. She is asking a perfectly valid question. Another added, "This is a reach. She's simply prompting a question for the culture, which is vastly different from Jill's take on Benito's performance." Another person says she said nothing wrong. She's asking a question, and also see what happened with Billie Eilish. People from all ages and backgrounds heavily criticized her. In Bad Bunny's case, he mostly kept it cultural and inclusive, which is why it worked, even if I hate his music. Well, I did hear a lot of people say that. They were like, "I don't particularly like his music, or I really wasn't a fan of his music." But when I watched the performance, I definitely felt, I definitely became teary eyed. I definitely made me want to dive deep into a lot of the cultural references and all this stuff. So when you hear something like that, that definitely, I'm like, I'm all for that. And then another commenter insisted the distinction mattered, saying Jill's team is working hard to get the focus off her, even though it don't seem like she does. But Jill's a self-saboteur. And we're gonna get into her history of self-sabotage right after we do this story, because there's a lot we gotta build well in the next time when we talk about Jill. Now, meanwhile, another comment oh yeah, so they said Jill is working hard to get the focus off her, Bethany giving an initial take, then clarifying it is not the same as Jill Zarin being angry no whites were shown and people singing in Spanish. Very different. Yeah, because like I said, hers was rooted in straight up racism. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the video, another concluded, that it's very different than Jill's. Others pleaded for former Roni cast members to stop weighing in altogether. Because it's like, whatever y'all talk, y'all put your foot in your mouth. Now, we do have a follow up because, I tell you, when it comes to this, yeah, these topics be long, but I got to break it on down and give you all the stuff. I'm not just going to give y'all some little, Instagram reel 2 second situation and you don't get the full story. Now, since the online backlash, um, Bethany has taken to Instagram. Then she did it yesterday because yesterday was Thursday. Today is Friday. Guns blazing to scold her followers after her original video critiquing Bad Bunny's 2026 Super Bowl halftime show went viral. Now, with sopping wet hair, as you can see in the picture, fresh out the shower, Frankel began her reel saying, "I can't even wait to get this robe." Oh, wait, she said, "I can't even wait to get my robe on to say this to you. Let's say I say something wrong. Let's say I get a word wrong. Let's say for a brief second, even though I've been to Puerto Rico like 6 times, realize that it's a territory, but that it's not on the mainland, so it feels culturally different. Let's say I get it wrong. Let's say I fucking say it wrong. You have two choices." The 65-year-old, I mean, sorry, 55-year-old, look at me age on her 10 years, explain that her fans can either educate her by saying things like, "I want you to understand this," or they can say, "Fuck you, you whore, you Tales from the Crypt, you Skeletor, you racist, you," and she used the "see you next Tuesday" word. Now, in the United States of America, we have never been more fucking divided. So why not try to talk to someone who says something wrong, who has a different opinion than you, who thinks like the uncle at your Thanksgiving dinner table that you can't believe thinks that way? Which is basically what Trump is, the uncle at the dinner table who says the stuff that he says, and y'all sit and cackle and you gasp. But, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that." But none of you sat and corrected his ass. But if you also respond like Trump, and it's like you trying to educate them, and they still on that ignorant racist mess, then I'm like, well, fuck you then. I ain't got time. But I do agree with her on this situation. But then she went on to say, I mean, I'm gonna finish. Let me finish what she had to say, and then I'm gonna give my opinion on it. Um, Now instead of telling him he's a piece of ish and putting him in the ground, have a conversation, have a dialogue. The entrepreneur went on to slam the idea that everyone has to fit into one political box. She said, "You're either woke or MAGA." Well, I'd rather be woke than MAGA, chair. Quiet as it's kept. Is there nothing in between? Because I'm neither woke nor MAGA. You can't fucking trust and you can fucking trust and believe, she said, arguing that both Democratic and Republican politicians have done moronic things. Well, I'm kind of confused when she says, well, I can understand if you said you're not MAGA, but what does that mean that you're not woke? Because you said I'm neither woke nor MAGA. I really need to understand because I told y'all what the real definition of woke means, but you already know when white people take our shit and colonize it and hijack it and turn it into something else, they flip it and reverse it into whatever it is they want to turn it into, it loses its meaning. So you're not woke, meaning that you're not aware of the different cultures and the different things and the different ideologies that's going on in the world that's outside of your learning curve. So I need more specifics on that. She said, "What the F happened to us? Life is not a zero-sum game. We're human beings, so if I say something that effing bothers you, let me know in a constructive way so I can change. If you want to put me in the goddamn ground, wait for it, baby, because I'm not effing going anywhere." Now, Bethany insists she's one of the only ones who will actually speak their mind, claiming internet users just want mommies that will say what they program them to say. She further claimed that those unnamed celebrities don't really believe in what they share publicly and are bullshitting their fans because they're all texting her on the side saying the opposite. Well, in the words of Sutton Strack, name them. Name them. Who the ones out here that's out there saying one thing and texting another? Because I've been telling y'all for the long, there's a lot of celebrities out here that are very performative, that sit and act like, oh yeah, I'm so pro this and team this and all this other mess. And they be the main ones who be over there with them conservatives. So you can't always believe what your fave be out here acting like they representing, because a lot of these celebrities are phony as hell. The skinny girl found her stress that she keeps it real, explaining, when I talk to you, I'm talking live and direct. And if I feel something, think something, say something that's wrong, correct me, educate me, discuss with me. Well, I think that's also a New York thing. Shows us that this country needs an effing dialogue. The country is not red or blue. This country is red, white, and blue. Oh Lord, now when you put that white in there, you know what it gives. Oh, yeah, emphasis on the white. The country is Puerto Rico, it's Texas, it's South Carolina, it's New York, it's Jewish, it's Catholic, it's Muslim, it's effing everything. Now, she concluded her message by ordering her followers to stop bullying her, saying, I'm not tolerating this anymore. You want to go? Let's effing go. You're not going to take me down, but I would prefer to have a conversation. You're welcome. She also wrote atop the footage, "This is who I am. Follow me or cancel me." As you, I don't know if I had that picture, but yeah, that was definitely in the headline or whatever. But here's the thing, like, yeah, I don't feel like what she said was bad. I mean, I was picking apart a lot of the things that she was saying. I was like, okay, what does she mean by that? But compared to what Jill Zarin said, I'm all for having a genuine, open dialogue with people who may say something ignorant and bigoted. Excuse me. I'm definitely looking forward to that. If I can have that conversation with, and trust me, believe, there have been times where I can sit and have conversations, and white people who are older than me have been set in their ways about certain things, and I'll slip it in there. This is this, and this, and fill it in. And a lot of times when they're like, okay, I get it, I apologize, and I understand all of this stuff. When I can have that dialogue with people, I like having those type of dialogues because we used to do that back in the day before social media became what it is. Now I just feel like people be out here looking for a scapegoat. People look for a reason to be angry. People just, it's like that's the one is that the one emotion that a lot of y'all like tapping into, is just being pissed off and angry and just rage baiting people on social media, or just wanting to feel? Is that like a thing that makes you feel a little something in between your legs or in your loins and your heart or whatever the case is? Like I just don't get that. So my thing is, yeah, if somebody says something, I'm gonna write something in an encourage. Like if I be in the beginning, I'd be like, yeah, I be wanting to go and let have a cuss a bitch out. But I'll put something in there where it's like, I want to talk to you at a way where I'm not talking at you or I'm talking down to you, that I'm gonna just have that genuine conversation so that when you understand that what you're saying is a little ignorant and this is why. So that's probably why she put that second video up, because people were just dragging her. She was reading the stuff in between the muck of the dragation. There was probably somebody in there who basically said to her, because I was trying to see if I could find that thing where it was talking about, wait, because it was like, yeah, this article was a long one, so it's like trying to find the thing where it was basically talking about like the history of Puerto Rico and all those other things, where it's saying like he was a man in America with a large stage in the world, which is very inspirational to people because that's him expressing his experience in his language, which is literally what that was at the bottom line. So all these other little narratives that certain people trying to put up, come up with, it's a bunch of BS. But um, regarding the faux Claren outrage, and that's with 3Ks against Bad Bunny's performance, what I want to do with this whole thing is, there was something that I saw since we talk about housewives. Candace Dillard Bassett posted this on Twitter that I had came across, because she's on the trailer. Wait, is she still on the trailer? I told you I'm like 3 episodes behind, so I don't even know if she's still on there or whatnot. Did they find out she a traitor, or is she still up there fooling everybody or deceiving people? So um like I said, I do believe in the whole thing of taking the time to talk to people. But if you're gonna be caught up in your own privilege and ignorance, then I ain't got time for it. But anyway, she said the following, and it's a thread. It was like in 4 parts. She said, y'all need to learn how to appreciate people, places, and things that are not like you. English is not the only language that matters. Yeah, because we don't have a distinctive language in this country. Now, we have people like Megyn Kelly, long jawed ass, that want to make English the official language. But y'all seem to forget, weren't we colonized by the Spaniards and other people before it came down to, English being the colonizers' language in America? Because English is from England. So we've been colonized quite a few times. There have been many people who claim that they discovered America that have come here and their languages have become the melting pot. So English is the foundation. It's mostly what people speak here, but it's not the only language. So yeah, English is not the only language that matters. English speakers do not need to be centered in everything. America is a land made richer because of, well, they said because of her immigrants, but I think she meant because of immigrants. Now, some of us came here by choice, some of us didn't. All of us deserve to be seen, heard, and represented. Like, why do I even need to say this? The entitlement it takes to believe art must translate itself for your comfort is wild. Instead of getting on Beyonce's internet to run your mouth, you could have sat there and swayed to the music. The Super Bowl halftime show was representation personified, artistic expression, a signal to the diaspora, a nod to resistance, and a reminder that culture does. Wait, is there more to it? Because I feel like it cut off. Oh no, no, what's the next one? So it said, a reminder that culture does not need your permission. You don't have to understand every word to understand that it wasn't made to exclude you. It just wasn't made to center you. And that's okay. And I couldn't have said it better myself because I totally agree with Candace. It's like, yes, what some of y'all need to realize when y'all be coming up here with these little microaggressions and your little racial big, undertone, because y'all will say everything but the N-word. So you got to find new other ways to come in and indoctrinate and put out your little racist situations like we ain't catching it. But a lot of us people of color, we've been raised to clock the microaggressions and your little code words that y'all like to use. It's like, yes, just because they were speaking Spanish and there was things and we got to look into what he said. It's like everything ain't about you. And that's fine. Just like there have been many a times where I've watched the Super Bowl halftime special and many other performances that I've seen that I didn't like and I didn't get. And it wasn't for me. And that's fine. But if you liked it, that's great. If you didn't like it, that's great. But when you come up with all that extra seasoning that y'all want to put on the reasons as to why you didn't like it, is why we got to come in and cuss your ass out. So that's why we said, we're saying what we're saying. But I think also we need to move off of this and realize that a lot of this infighting, like I said before, this regime wants us with the infighting, with talk about Bad Bunny and those dangerous Hispanics and all this other stuff, while this current regime continues to do their criminal activities of robbing and pillaging and raping this country of its resources and other countries. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Bethenny Frankel going in and letting have on people dragging her over her comments regarding her asking a genuine question about Bad Bunny and should artists be using their platforms to be political? But I'm like, sis, if you know anything about art, art has always been political. Long before speech replaced sign language. You just ain't been paying attention, probably because you just been in your little white lady silo and just keeping the blinders on. And if it ain't bothering you, you're not paying attention. Or because it's not your experience, you're not paying attention. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.